So, these girls put in so much time, work so hard. Obviously, the hope is it translates to wins, and that's happened this year. How rewarding has it been to see this group achieve so much success to this point in the season?
Yeah, I'm just really proud of them. They're pretty resilient. When things don't always go their way, they've learned, they've grown up together, and they really learn how to bounce back more than anything else. So, they deserve the success that comes their way, and we try to keep them humble. They're a pretty humble group, but they're fun.
One of the ladies said to us that she feels like this team has changed some of the perception about Northwestern women's hoops to the point where she can even tell when you're on the floor for warm-ups, the other team looks a little more dialed in than ever before. Do you think that this team is helping change the perception a little bit?
I think so. Coming off last year, we got to the championship game in the NIT, and that was big for us in 121 games. So I think, the other teams in the league know that you're going to be in for a dogfight when you play Northwestern, and they know we're a little more experienced now too. We got juniors and seniors on the floor along with some younger players. So, we're not sneaking up on anybody right now.
What stands out about what's made this team so successful?
I think the biggest thing, it's one of them. I've been fortunate enough to coach a lot of great teams, and they're really unselfish. I think that's our biggest, character trait that I think separates us. They really don't care who gets the credit, who scores, who doesn't score, who gets to play more. So it's refreshing, in a sport like ours.
Both ladies talked about the two main goals that this team has had is to win the league and to make the tournament. To be, on the doorstep of February, the last full month of the season, and have a chance to achieve both of those goals. What does that mean to you, that they've set these two big goals and they've put themselves in a position where they can achieve them?
Yeah, like the biggest thing is that it's their goals too. It's all of us. It's not just coaches saying, "Hey, we want to do this or that." It's them really understanding. Because at the end of the day, when you have leadership on your team, it's much more important than what I'm saying, and that's what we have. It's their goals, so they're invested. Not just our coaching staff or staff, and I think that's really important. And leadership, we're getting great leadership right now from our captains, from our younger players. It really helps.
Coach, the tournament committee is releasing their first top 16 on Monday at halftime of UConn, Oregon. You gonna be watching that on ESPN too?
I'm sure I'll pay attention too. That would be, it'll be really interesting at this point in the season because so many things can happen. But initially, it's unique because in women's basketball, the top 16 host the first two rounds, and it's a tremendous advantage if you're one of those teams. And I've been both. I've been on the road and won some games, other people's, and I've hosted over the years too. So it's better to host.
And then looking a little bit more short term, after this Penn State game coming up, you guys have the 8 days off. First time you've had this week off in a while. How much are you looking forward to that, getting your team a chance to get some rest?
Yeah, I think it's coming at a perfect time for us. Just to regroup a little bit, some nagging injuries, but also for our staff, it's a recruiting period for us to be able to go out and see players. Hopefully the next Wildcats, and again. Then keep that edge, get in the gym towards the end of the week and just and let them catch up in school. We've been on the road a lot this past couple of weeks.
You talk about that recruiting period. How much in a time like this where you guys are really riding high, how much are you going to be recruiting on that success on the 18-3 record?
Well, you certainly, we got a lot to sell, and I think that, and now we have obviously Welsh Ryan and Trinans and the facilities, and obviously to have a school ranked in the top 10 in the country as an academic institution, we feel like we have everything you need if you're that level player and student.
And then looking at that matchup with Penn State, a team that you guys really took care of pretty easily the first time you played them, does that make it a lot tougher to go to their place and play them a second time, knowing that they have a chip on their shoulder?
Yeah, and they're playing well, and any road game in the Big Ten is tough. The crowds are into it, and we already played well against them, so we'll look at what we did in that game and see if we can carry it over.